Alrighty, so we're going to start here on this post that I made to you guys back on May 22nd, 2025, where I said these are the 9 must-know projects, in my opinion, of course, that most influencers are overlooking. Meaning, if you go on YouTube or you go on Twitter, there are not a lot of sophisticated breakdown videos or comprehensive research videos on each of these projects, right? If you do come across video breakdowns or any material on YouTube, it's mostly just outrageous price projections, which obviously, of course, here at CYPRX, we tend to avoid. So I wanted to give you guys my 2 cents on one of the projects that I put at the top that I firmly believe is a must-know project and one that I feel like a lot of people are kind of sleeping on. So that is Redstone. All right. So we're going to get into this. Now, I have some other ones there like Aptos, Wormhole, Pith Network, Say, XLR, Ondo Finance, Zebic, which is doing numbers right now, and Athena, all projects that we have been focused on integrating into at least my portfolio, assets that I've told you guys I'm integrating into my portfolio that are kind of outside of the traditional utility niche, right? And each of these assets provide their own layer and level of utility and are facilitating different use cases and different roles, not only in traditional finance, but also in the DeFi ecosystem. So if you don't know about these projects, definitely go take a look on your own time and your own behalf. And, excuse me, and blow your own mind with some of the research that you can come across. So just diving into the top one, Redstone, right? Looking at the Redstone LinkedIn profile, okay? So all in all, this video breakdown in a nutshell is going to go over why Redstone is not just participating in the Oracle evolution and instead is actually leading the Oracle charge. Okay. So this is posted from Redstone 4 months ago. And you guys know that I like it when fundamentals materialize and actually come into fruition. And so this is interesting that it says out with the old and in with the new. Big things are coming in 2025, posted by Redstone Oracles. And this just kind of goes hand in hand with one of the questions that D'Angelo asked the other day on the Zoom call. Which Oracle provider are you most bullish on? And for me, over Chainlink, over Pith, and if you want to throw Flare into the mix, for now, because Flare provides other use cases outside of just being an Oracle provider, I'd say that I'm probably most bullish on Redstone over the two. Chainlink, sorry, excuse me, out of the three, Chainlink, Pith, and Redstone. Okay. And I'm going to back why that is in today's call. So if we come over here, this is directly on the Redstone blog, and it goes on to talk about blockchain oracles in comparison, Chainlink versus Pith versus Redstone 2025. Now, I could thoroughly read through this entire thing, but I just want to focus on some key areas. So it says here, the introduction to blockchain oracles, DeFi, and on-chain finance growth. Blockchain oracles are the backbone of the blockchain ecosystem and are fundamental for DeFi and on-chain finance growth over the long term. In this article, we provide we provide a comparison between the three leading blockchain oracles, Redstone, Chainlink, and Pith, and explain the key similarities and differences between them. Fundamentally, all blockchain oracles seek to bridge the gap between real-world information and on-chain data in a secure way. So here is a graph, side-by-side comparison of the blockchain oracles, Chainlink, Pith, and Redstone. And you can see out of the three, Chainlink compared to Redstone and Pith compared to Redstone, Redstone is beating both of them. Even though Chainlink obviously, of course, supersedes both of these other projects in terms of market cap and valuation and assets, on chain and whatnot. Redstone was only launched just in 2021 and definitely has some coming up to do in terms of catching up to what Chainlink has accomplished. But still, in terms of the technology that it provides, Redstone's tech seems like it is much better. Okay, and this goes and breaks down why that is. So I'm not going to thoroughly go through and read all of this. You guys can kind of just pause and, go through this yourself. I will drop all of these links in the chat and the Discord so you guys can thoroughly go through and read it. Some of the things that Chainlink and Pith do not have that Redstone does have, as you can see here, restaking Oracle modules. And it says here that Redstone is integrated with EigenLayer and Symbiotics testnets, tokenized vault support. Both Chainlink and Pith don't have that. Redstone is integrated with Veda, Nucleus, and Dinero for that. And there's one more here that Pith does not have, proof of reserves or POR products, and Bitcoin liquid staking or proof of reserve Oracle support. Pyth does not have that, but Redstone has both of those. All right. So again, just an infographic to show you guys some of the comparisons between Chainlink, Pyth, and Redstone. Down here at the bottom, this is what's going to be important for today's video breakdown, and we're going to full circle back to this. I highlighted it in green. Remember that because again, like I said, we're going to come back to it. So it says, while Chainlink focuses on reliable delivery in the push model and Pyth provides support for the pull model, Redstone is the only Oracle provider to offer both models, the push and pull, and does so across chain. And so I'm going to show you guys how institutions are paying attention to this. And I firmly believe that that is why they are choosing Redstone in the now, given some of the most recent fundamental developments. So Chainlink only offers the push model. Pyth only provides support for the pull model. Redstone provides support for both. All right. Keep in mind how we started off with this. 4 months ago, Redstone Oracles posted out with the old and in with the new. Big things are coming in 2025. Well, what was just announced 3 weeks ago? A former Chainlink director joined Redstone to lead out the role of the next-gen Oracle extractable value technology. Mike Massari will bring his 15 plus years of experience to the Redstone team, focusing on OEV strategy and growing Redstone's market share. So I want to thoroughly read through this fundamental piece. Redstone is the fastest growing Oracle network in Web3, backed by Arrington Capital. And this is again today, says that, but this is from just a couple of weeks ago, announced the addition of Mike Massari, the former director of integrations and platform at Chainlink Labs, as a strategic advisor. Massari will help Redstone bring groundbreaking new Oracle technologies to the market, starting with Redstone's up-and-coming solution for Oracle Extractable Value, or OEV. Mike brings over 15 years of experience building and scaling mission-critical infrastructure across Web3. At Chainlink, he led integrations across major L1 and L2 ecosystems and helped establish the company as a dominant Oracle in DeFi. And now he is coming over as an advisor on Redstone. I wonder why. And again, this is what I'm talking about, where I like seeing these fundamental pieces that these projects put out actually materialize, out with the old, in with the new. And we can kind of see that, how they put out a fundamental piece talking about how Redstone is better in certain ways over Chainlink. And we see ex-Chainlink advisors coming over to Redstone in real time. So this is a direct quote from Mike. He said, "When I was at Chainlink, I saw how difficult it is to keep an Oracle network reliable, scalable, and flexible. Redstone has earned its place as the fastest growing Oracle because it's nailed the fundamentals, real cost savings, flexible data feeds, and multi-chain support," said Mike. Redstone has already positioned itself at the forefront of Oracle innovation with their real-time Oracle Redstone Bolt and real-world asset Oracle solutions. The launch of Redstone OEV will establish it as a clear technical leader in the space, unlocking new possibilities for lending protocols like increased capital efficiency and dynamic liquidations. So real fast, we'll come back to this Bolt mention up here, right? So I'll actually highlight that in purple real fast just so we can remember to come back to that, because you might be asking what that is. But to continue reading down here, it says, Marcin, I'm going to butcher this gentleman's last name, the co-founder of Redstone, added, "Mike's experience in scaling Chainlink's integration strategy is incredibly valuable as we expand deeper into DeFi and pioneer new Oracle technologies like OEV. We gain Mike's confidence that Redstone's Oracle architecture has a clear edge over other Oracles." And what I like about reading that is something that, bringing flair to the table, Hugo Filion has mentioned in the past publicly on stage that all Oracle providers, and he kind of called out Chainlink, suck, right? And the market hasn't really realized that yet. And so now, full circle, we're seeing fundamentals where previous executives or advisors from Chainlink or people that held positions and roles at Chainlink are coming over to a new Oracle that is supposedly better, right? Our ability to scale thousands of chains and develop new products that seamlessly integrate with our existing tech. We're very excited to have him on board to help turn our long-term vision of creating the most reliable and adaptable Oracle into reality. With Mike Massari joining the advisory team, Redstone is doubling down on the mission to become the Oracle infrastructure layer for the next gen DeFi, on-chain finance, and beyond. Back up here to the mention of this Redstone Bolt. So what is that, right? All right, so here is the Redstone Bolt post. This is just from a month ago, just a real fast overview. I'm not going to get too much into this. It says, Introducing Redstone Bolt, the fastest blockchain oracle ever built. Bolt delivers price updates in real time every 2.4 milliseconds, setting a new standard for blockchain oracle infrastructure, now live exclusively on Mega ETH testnet. Redstone Bolt is the first real-time push oracle, meaning it's a plug and play with almost every major DeFi protocol, including Aave, Compound, Morpho Labs, Spark, Venus Labs, and more. To build Bolt, we drastically reimagined how oracles work and what they were capable of. Bolt nodes are located near Mega ETH sequencer nodes to minimize. I'm not going to get into that nerdy stuff, but yeah, at the end of the day, it is the fastest blockchain oracle ever built. All right. And so that was mentioned in this post, and one of the main reasons why this gentleman from Chainlink came over to Redstone. So I thought that I'd throw that in there and just incorporate that into the mix. Now, outside of that, Redstone has accumulated some massive partnership announcements over the past consecutive couple of months. One of them, right, being integrated with USD1's price feed. USD1 is World Liberty Finance treasury-backed stablecoin, right? Obviously, of course, the Trump administration, their whole Trump thing, crypto debacle, right, and World Liberty Finance. So we can kind of see Redstone being chosen be an integrated partner with USD1, which is huge. So this is from 5 days ago. So just shows you guys some timely and updated information. Introducing the USD1 price feed, supporting World Liberty Finance's treasury-backed stablecoin. Redstone launched the first push oracle for price feeds for USD1, a stablecoin introduced by World Liberty Finance, a DeFi platform inspired by Donald Trump. USD1 recently surpassed $2 billion in market capitalization, demonstrating significant market adoption. Redstone is now powering USD1's expansion in the DeFi ecosystem, beginning with the market on Venus Labs, the largest lending protocol on BNB chain with $2.35 billion in total value locked. USD1 is fully backed, and then it just kind of goes on to what USD1 is, right? So I'll save time for the sake of today's video breakdown. Interestingly enough, down here, it mentions USD1 has gained significant traction in the market, including a notable $2 billion investment from Abu Dhabi's based MGX. This is going to play an important role later on. We're just going to highlight Abu Dhabi because there's some small connection here with individuals who are on the advisory board for this organization, Clearpool, that Redstone is also partnered with. So I'm not saying there is a direct connection there, but it just goes to show that to some degree, something is happening behind the scenes with Redstone that I firmly believe people need to be paying attention to. All right. So if we come over here, Redstone oracles, it says here, Redstone serves as the blockchain oracle for VanEck's first tokenized fund. So VanEck, a large financial market participant, not only in traditional finance, but now coming into crypto, for the first time ever launched a tokenized fund, and they chose Redstone. They didn't choose Pyth, they didn't choose Chainlink, and so you have to ask yourself why that is. Now, Redstone was also chosen by other TradFi players like BlackRock, Apollo, and Securitize, right? So it says here, Redstone serves as the blockchain oracle for VanEck in their first tokenized fund. VBill gives qualified investors access to a fully collateralized blockchain-based alternative to money market funds backed by U.S. Treasuries with 24/7 liquidity and real-time settlement. As the Oracle provider, Redstone delivers daily net asset value or NAV calculations, ensuring transparency and accuracy for all VBill investors. This collaboration with VanEck and Securitize marks a significant milestone in bringing TradFi assets on-chain, merging TradFi stability with DeFi innovation. And it also mentions down here that this is in collaboration with State Street and Trust Company, which is again, State Street and the large financial institutional player, right? Coming over here, all right, just to show you guys some more TradFi partners that have recently chosen Redstone. This is just from May 13th, 2025, when this was announced from Redstone blog. VanEck and Securitize partnered to launch the innovative blockchain-based treasury fund with Redstone as the primary blockchain oracle, okay? And if we scroll down here, this is where it mentions some of the other TradFi participants. Marcin, again, there's that co-founder. I'm not going to butcher his last name. The co-founder of Redstone said, as the primary Oracle partner for Securitize, we ensure a timely delivery of data feeds for all their tokenized products. That is a huge statement right there. All of their tokenized products, not some, all of them, including BlackRock's BIDL, Apollo's Accred, and BCAP Fund, or BCAP, and their fund, and now VanEck VBill. We are long-term believers in the value of the emergent tokenized assets with DeFi protocols and will work as a reliable partner opening new use cases in that vertical. Okay. And so you can see here BlackRock, Apollo, Securitize, BCAP, VanEck, VBill, they're all choosing Redstone. And so we have to ask ourselves a question, why is that? Right? Why aren't they choosing other Oracle providers over Redstone and instead choosing Redstone over other Oracle providers? I firmly believe that there's a reason behind that, right? They don't just do things for no reason. This is very interesting as well. So it says here, Securitize selects Redstone as their primary blockchain Oracle partner, bringing all tokenized assets to DeFi ecosystems. And I want to kind of just highlight some of the key little tiny snippets here. Securitize, a leader of real-world asset tokenization, works with the largest asset managers in the world, including BlackRock, Apollo, Hamilton Lane, and KKR, to bring $300 trillion of securities markets on-chain. To fully realize the potential of blockchain tech and tokenized securities, they must thrive on public permissionless blockchains such as Ethereum, which serve as the most efficient settlement layer for value transfer, states Carlos Domingo, the CEO of Securitize. Then he says here, this is important. Our partnership with Redstone allows us to not only transact with tokenized securities on chain, keep in mind that they're trying to bring $300 trillion of securities markets on chain, but also integrate them into the existing DeFi infrastructure and develop entirely new DeFi primitives mirroring TradFi giants and crypto native applications. The initial Redstone blockchain Oracle services used by Securitize will include the NAV data feeds delivered through both push and pull Oracle models. So you guys see that right there? So this is them saying why they chose Redstone, along with daily interest rate feeds on Ethereum mainnet and other networks. And I highlighted this in green. If we go back to the previous fundamental where they were talking about comparing Chainlink and Pyth and Redstone and how Redstone is better than both Chainlink and Pyth, and it mentions that Redstone offers both these push and pull models. And then in a fundamental, it literally says that is why Redstone was chosen. This is huge. This just goes to prove that traditional financial players know this and can see that Redstone in some way, shape, or form offers both of these services or these solutions. And that is why they're going with Redstone. So we can kind of use that data and that information to assume it's speculative, but that more financial institutions will see this as well as TradFi merges with DeFi and choose Redstone as a solution for their Oracle provider in the future. That's at least the way that I'm seeing that, right? So I wanted to full circle back to that and give you guys that highlight right there. Moving on, here is another updated fundamental piece. This is only from April 14th, 2025. And this is where we're going to fall back to that highlight of the Abu Dhabi. I don't remember what page we highlighted that on. Give me a second. All right, Abu Dhabi, right? So we highlighted Abu Dhabi here, okay? In some way, shape, or form, USD1 just gained notable traction with an investment in the Abu Dhabi-based MGX, which utilizes the USD1 to acquire minority staking in Binance. And we know Redstone is the, Oracle provider that USD1 price feeds are now operating on, okay? So if we come over here, this is a fundamental piece from April 14th, 2025, and it reads, Ocean, the blockchain for real-world asset yield being launched by Clearpool, has announced a strategic partnership with Redstone, a prominent modular blockchain Oracle provider. This collaboration will integrate Redstone's robust and secure data feeds into the Ocean ecosystem, significantly enhancing the tokenization of real-world assets and providing reliable data feeds for DeFi applications operating on protocol. By leveraging Redstone's extensive network, advancing price oracles, and support for a wide array of assets, Ocean aims to provide an even more secure, transparent, and efficient environment for users to earn yield on tokenized real-world assets. I highlighted Clearpool here. Let's jump over to that real fast. This is Clearpool, and this is their homepage. The first decentralized dynamic marketplace for institutional capital. And if we come down here, keeping in mind that USD1 just got approved for that $2 billion announcement in Abu Dhabi, right? USD1 is utilizing Redstone for their price feeds, okay? And we can see right down here, both of these former representatives, the co-founder of this organization from Clearpool, who again just partnered with Redstone, was the head of repo trading at the APAC at the first Abu Dhabi bank, All right. Then if we come over here, we have the co-founder of this organization, Clearpool, who again is partnered with Redstone. He was previously at First Abu Dhabi Bank. So again, not necessarily saying that there is a direct connection, but there's definitely some correlation here that is being worked behind the scenes, in my personal opinion, that just goes to show in some way, shape, or form that we should not be ignoring Redstone, right? Back to this. Let's finish reading this. Redstone, as we mentioned, is a leading blockchain data provider trusted by over 130 different clients in securing a substantial amount of value within the DeFi space. Its innovative modular architecture efficiently separates data collection from data delivery, enabling seamless scaling across more than 70 different blockchain networks, where this design facilitates the provision of diverse, customizable data feeds for over 1,250 different assets, including emerging financial products and specialized digital assets such as liquid restaking tokens or LRTS. And a real-world asset, notably Redstone, has also been live since 2021. Interestingly enough, I haven't heard shit about Redstone since pretty much this year, which just, again, sparks that little tiny alarm in the back of my mind. Nobody's really talking about this project, okay? Yet they're doing massive things and being chosen by some of the largest market participants that are currently operating in the crypto sphere right now, like BlackRock, Apollo, Securitize, so on and so forth, okay? So I thought that I'd throw that in the mix. Coming over here, all right, let's just finish up some of these fundamentals that I have for you guys. Spark Protocol integrating Redstone to protect billions of dollars in DeFi lending. They could have chose any other Oracle provider to protect this billions of dollars worth of value. They chose Redstone. It says here, Redstone, the fastest growing blockchain Oracle, and Spark Protocol, one of the largest DeFi protocols, are proud to announce that Spark has adopted Redstone Oracle price feeds to secure their lending products, SparkLend. Redstone delivers robust real-time price data for any asset on-chain with the highest standard of security. Now, this data will be used by Spark Protocol to protect the billions of dollars deposited within Spark's largest lending markets. Spark is one of the largest DeFi protocols in existence and offers users products for non-custodial savings and lending, liquidity provision for major DeFi protocols. So I think in terms of just the fundamentals that I had for you guys open today, that's really all that I wanted to cover, just to show you guys a brief overview on why I'm bullish on Redstone, show you guys how they are integrating with traditional financial players. They're being chosen by some of the largest names in the game right now, yet Redstone and news fundamentals and just kind of like influencers covering this project is readily unnoticed right now, or at least scarce in my personal opinion from what I've seen. So doing my due diligence and just continuing to do research on this project, I've decided to add this to my portfolio, considering that the market has recently experienced a slight pullback. I felt like it was a good time to add some additional tokens onto my initial Redstone bag, right? And so just going over this post, full circling, Redstone was at the top of this list. So I thought that I'd break that down for you guys so that way you knew why I was bullish and what I was kind of seeing in terms of the fundamentals that have recently been ongoing with Redstone. All right.